Chill core, run core, yoga core, cardio core, spin core, fit core. Wellness is just whatever works for you.
Core Hydration believes that wellness is whatever works for you. Find your balance. Find your core. Visit Core Hydration. Core Hydration is a proud partner of USA Gymnastics. Pics or it didn't happen. Share your event highlights, cutest selfies, and most thrilling moments of the competition. Use the hashtag XfinityChamps on social media to stay up to date on everything happening at the Xfinity US Gymnastics Championships. And take a piece of the Xfinity US Gymnastics Championships home with you. Stop by the USA Gym Store on the concourse to purchase official Xfinity US Gymnastics Championships t-shirts, hoodies, and more. Or buy online at usagymstore.com.
You gotta fly high, and then you gotta stick the landing.
Wow. I mean, air awareness and a cat-like ability to find the landing.
Who is the newest member of USA Gymnastics? Well, it's the new mascot. The USA Gym Store on the concourse has kid-sized t-shirts and hoodie shirts that you can also buy online at usagymstore.com. And now that you've seen the new USA Gymnastics mascot, we need your help to name it. Just scan the QR code on the screen to suggest a name for the mascot. The mascot's name will be unveiled here at the SAP Center tomorrow night. Gymnastics fans, it is time to get loud and proud as USA Gymnastics says great thanks to a local gym club who helped bring a boatload of fans to the Xfinity US Gymnastics Championships here in San Jose, California. We want to thank California Sports Center for great support in making this year's Xfinity US Gymnastics Championships a raving success. And now, gymnastics fans, please welcome your MC for the 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships. He hails from Louisville, Kentucky, and is an avid Louisville Cardinals fan. He has climbed Mount Everest 18 times, wakeboarded in a volcano, and is the father of dragons. But it has always been one of Jim's lifetime goals to MC a gymnastics event. Well, now he can check that box, too. Please give it up for Jim Hill.
What's up, San Jose, California? How y'all doing? Thank you so much for joining us here this evening. I want to give a big shout out to California Sports Center for being the highest selling club this weekend. I got a quick question for you. What are you most excited about seeing today?
Just all these great gymnasts everywhere.
That's incredible. That's incredible. So what did you have to do to make the sales that you guys to get up here on the floor?
Just work hard.
Hey, working hard is always a great way to go. Congratulations, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us. Everybody give it up for California Sports Center one more time.
Thank you, brother.
One other quick reminder for you guys. We have a QR code up on the screen for my man DJ Matty Matt spinning the ones and twos tonight. If you have any song requests that you would like to hear, go ahead and send them over. We also have a QR code. Some of you may not know. We have a new Team USA Gymnastics mascot, and we need your help to name him. So scan that QR code and send in your input on what you think the mascot should be named. We're going to be revealing the results of the name on Sunday. Are you guys ready for some great gymnastics action tonight? All right. We're going to get started here in just a few short moments.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf.
Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
The Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships is brought to you by the Xfinity 10G Network. The future starts now with Xfinity. Don't miss out on any of the action of the Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships. For live scoring, athlete bios, photos, and plenty more amazing gymnastics content, visit usgymchampionships.com/live.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Get your thunder sticks out and count down with me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Let's get ready to tumble.
Welcome to the 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships here at SAP Center, San Jose, California, USA. Tonight's competition features the nation's top senior elite men's gymnasts. They're all here in San Jose, pursuing event medals, focusing on a time-honored spot on Team USA, and vying to become this year's Xfinity U.S. All-Around Champion. And now, the senior men that are here to compete in the 2023 Xfinity U.S. Championships. For Ohio State University, Chase Davenport Mills. For University of Oklahoma, Fuzzy Bettis. For University of California, Berkeley, Tyler Shimizu. For University of Nebraska, Taylor Christopoulos. For University of Oklahoma, Maxime Bereznev. For Ohio State University, Cameron Nelson. For Arizona State University, Jackson Harrison. For University of Oklahoma, Zachary Nunez. For Evo, Alex Diaz. For Nova, Alex Tapanis. For Evo, Alex Carajo. For Evo, Curran Phillips. For U.S. Naval Academy, Isaiah Drake. For Evo, Shane Wiskus. For Evo, Stephen Nedarosic. For Evo, Ian Sandoval. For Gymnastics Olympica USA, Vahe Petrosian. For Stanford University, Brandon Gwynn. For Stanford University, J.R. Cho. For University of Illinois, Evan Manavong. For 5280, Yul Moldauer. For Stanford University, Ian Gunther. For University of Illinois, Connor McCole. For University of Illinois, Mike Fletcher. For University of Michigan, Cameron Bach. For University of Michigan, Landon Blix. For Cypress Academy, Dallas Hale. For University of Michigan, Paul Judah. For University of Michigan, Crew Bold. For Cypress Academy, Caden Clinton. For University of Michigan, Frederick Richard. For University of Michigan, Javier Alfonso. For Penn State University, Landon Simpson. For Penn State University, Matt Cormier. For U.S. Air Force Academy, Patrick Hoops. For Penn State University, Michael Giroux. For Salto Center, Danelle Wittenberg. For Penn State University, Michael Artliff. For U.S. Air Force Academy, Oliver Zavell. For Stanford University, Coy Young. For Stanford University, Riley Luce. For Stanford University, Asher Hong. For Stanford University, Jeremy Bishop. For Stanford University, Colt Walker. For Stanford University, Taylor Burkhart. For Stanford University, Blake Soon. And for Stanford University, Brandon Briones. These are the senior men competing in the 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships. At this time, we invite you to please rise, remove your hats, and direct your attention to our nation's colors for the playing of our national anthem. The second and final night of competition in the 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships.
Be on the lookout, ladies and gentlemen. We got some t-shirts coming.
Gymnasts may now begin the warm-up for rotation 1. This is the second of 2 days of competition for senior men. Individual event scores and up-to-the-moment standings will appear on the arena scoreboards. Each day's scores will be combined to determine final placement on each apparatus and in the all-around competition. An award ceremony will follow tonight's final session, honoring the top 6 on each apparatus and in the all-around competition. Gymnasts that opt to compete with 2 vaults will be eligible for vault medals. Today's senior men's award ceremony will also include Team USA selections for 2023. Each gymnastics routine will be judged on the merits of content and the athletic execution of that content. The score for each routine is determined by adding together the routine's difficulty score and the execution score. And now, introducing the USA Gymnastics judges for the 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships men's competition. On the superior jury and video review panel are Dan Bachman and Butch Zunich. Judging on floor, Peter Weiging, Lenny Lucarello, Garrett DeJong, and Tom Kutz. Judging on pommel horse are Michael Ash, Nate Dodson, Nat Hammond, and Andy Brown. The judges on rings are John Corbett, Brian Meeker, Mike Jusick, and Cameron Sweeney. Judging on vault are Ron Hill, George Crank, Mark Sherman, and Lynn Bowman. The judges on parallel bars are Craig Nesbitt, Dave Johnson, Tom McNamee, and Kevin Menz. And judging on high bar are Scott Schaefer, Mick Kurth, Tim Michaels, and Sho Nakamori. It was 15 years ago at the 2008 Olympic Games in Beijing, China. The Team USA men's squad in gymnastics was comprised entirely of first-time Olympians going up against global powerhouses. It was going to be a rebuilding year for Team USA. But the American team of Alex Arteman, Raj Bhavsar, Joe Haggerty, Jonathan Horton, Justin Spring, and Kevin Tan weren't hearing any of that. The 6 rookie Olympians united to stun the world by taking the team bronze medal behind China and Japan. Horton also won silver on high bar, showing that the USA team's success was no fluke, was no accident, and was not beginner's luck. Well, tonight we honor that history-making team from 2008. Please welcome Alex Arteman, Raj Bhavsar, Joey Haggerty, Jonathan Horton, Justin Spring, and Kevin Tan. Your 2008 Beijing Olympics, Team USA!
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for your 2008 Team USA Men's Gymnastics. One thing that many of you may not know, this team right here competed in this very arena 1 year prior to going to Beijing. We're going to have these athletes tonight also 1 year before going to Paris. So we got that neat opportunity to have these guys back. The last time a team won a team medal for Team USA. Let's give it up for these guys one more time. I do have a couple quick questions for some of these guys. So I'm going to start right here on the end. What was it like being in Beijing?
Well, it's your life's work come together in one moment. And again, I think our medal was pretty unexpected, and that made it all the more special. I think that's brought us and kept us close together. So representing Team USA is all you could ask for.
That's incredible. Now, I have to imagine the pressure comes and goes, raises and increases while you're over there. So I want to move down here. I feel like I need to ask Raj this question. Who do you think relieved the pressure the most? Maybe was the biggest team jokester?
Oh, Joe. I mean, we all had jokes. That's what kept it light. I think every one of us knew how to walk into that competition floor and handle the pressure and just be brothers, and that's what was awesome. And we still joke to this day.
As you should, because if you can't laugh and have a good time, then, you know, what are you doing anyways? Right?
Absolutely.
All right. So there's a reason I moved down to this end also. I need to know, because comebacks seem to be a thing right now. Which one of you guys is going to make a comeback for Paris?
Not this guy.
Down here, maybe? One of you guys going to make a comeback?
Right here.
No chance.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, these Olympians right here are going to help us out. We've got some T-shirts they're going to throw out in the crowd. Give it up for your 2008 Men's Championship team.
Please make plans to join us tomorrow here at SAP Center at 3:10 p.m. to celebrate the 15-year reunion of the 2008 Team USA. The entire men's and women's Olympic teams will be here, and we want fans to pack the stands to cheer for this amazing team. This concludes the warm-up, and competition begins with the start of rotation 1. Starting off on floor for Ohio State, Chase Davenport Mills. Starting off on pommel horse for Nova, Alex Tapanis. Starting off on rings for Stanford, Brandon Wynn. Starting off on vault for Michigan, Cameron Bach. Starting off on parallel bars for Penn State, Landon Simpson. And now on high bar for Stanford, Coy Young. Cameron Bach of Michigan on vault. Coming up next on vault for Michigan, Landon Blixt. Landon Simpson of Penn State on parallel bars. Brandon Wynn of Stanford on rings. Coy Young of Stanford on high bar. Alex Tapanis of Nova on pommel horse. Chase Davenport Mills of Ohio State on floor. Coming up next on floor for UC Berkeley, Tyler Shimizu. Coming up next on pommel horse for Evo, Alex Caraggio. Up next on rings for 5280 will be Yul Moldauer. Landon Blixt of Michigan on vault. Coming up on parallel bars for Air Force, Patrick Hoops. And coming up on high bar for Stanford, Riley Luce. Coming up next on vault for Cypress Academy, Dallas Hale. Now on rings for 5280, Yul Moldauer. Now on high bar for Stanford, Riley Luce. Dallas Hale of Cypress Academy on vault. Up next on vault for Michigan will be Paul Judah. Riley Luce of Stanford on high bar. Up next on high bar for Stanford will be Asher Hong. Tyler Shimizu of UC Berkeley on floor. Now on vault for Michigan, Paul Judah. Yul Moldauer of 5280 on rings. Coming up next on rings for Stanford will be Ian Gunther. Up next on floor for Nebraska, Taylor Christopoulos. Now on parallel bars for Penn State, Michael Giroux. Alex Caraggio of Evo on pommel horse. Paul Judah of Michigan on vault. Coming up next on pommels for Navy, Isaiah Drake. Coming up next on vault for Cyprus will be Caden Clinton. Michael Giroux of Penn State on parallel bars. Coming up next on parallel bars for Salto will be Donnell Wittenberg. Now on high bar for Stanford, Asher Hong. Caden Clinton of Cyprus on vault. Coming up next on vault for Michigan, Frederick Richard. Asher Hong of Stanford on high bar. Coming up next on high bar for Stanford will be Jeremy Bishop. Now on vault for University of Michigan, Frederick Richard. Taylor Christopoulos of Nebraska on floor. Up next on floor for Oklahoma will be Maxime Berezhnev. Ian Gunther of Stanford on rings. Now on parallel bars for Salto Center, Donnell Wittenberg. Isaiah Drake of Navy on pommel horse. Frederick Richard of Michigan on vault. Oh, he's not doing. Coming up next on rings for Illinois will be Mike Fletcher. Up next on pommel horse for EVO will be Shane Wiskus. Danelle Wittenberg of Salto on parallel bars. Coming up on P-bars for Penn State will be Michael Artlett. Jeremy Bischoff of Stanford on high bar. Coming up next on high bar for Stanford will be Colt Walker. Now on pommel horse for Evo, Shane Wiskus. Mike Fletcher of Illinois on rings. Shane Wiskus of Evo on pommel horse. Michael Artlett of Penn State on parallel bars. Up next on pommels for Evo will be Steven Netarasic. Coming up on parallel bars for Air Force, Oliver Zabel. Now on floor for Oklahoma, Maxime Berezhnev. Now on high bar for Stanford, Colt Walker. Now on pommel horse for Evo, Steven Netarasic. Oliver Zabel of Air Force on parallel bars. Colt Walker of Stanford on high bar. Maxime Berezhnev of Oklahoma on floor. Steven Netarasic of Evo on pommel horse. Coming up next on floor for Ohio State will be Cameron Nelson. Coming up next on pommel horse for Evo will be Ian Sandoval. Coming up next on high bar for Stanford will be Taylor Burkhardt. Now on high bar for Stanford, Taylor Burkhardt. Now on pommel horse for Evo, Ian Sandoval. Now on floor for Ohio State, Cameron Nelson. Ian Sandoval of Evo on pommel horse. Taylor Burkhardt of Stanford on high bar. Coming up next on pommel horse for Gymnastics Olympica USA, Vahe Petrosian. Coming up next on high bar for Stanford, Blake Soon. Cameron Nelson of Ohio State on floor. Coming up next on floor for Arizona State, Jackson Harrison. Vahe Petrosian of Gymnastics Olympica USA on pommel horse. Now on high bar for Stanford, Blake Soon. Now on floor for Arizona State, Jackson Harrison. Blake Soon of Stanford on high bar. Jackson Harrison of Arizona State on floor. Coming up next on high bar for Stanford will be Brandon Briones. Coming up next on floor for Oklahoma will be Zachary Nunez. Now on floor for Oklahoma, Zachary Nunez. Zachary. Zachary Nunez of Oklahoma on floor. Now on high bar for Stanford, Brandon Briones. Brandon Briones of Stanford on high bar. This concludes competition in the first rotation. Gymnasts may now advance to their second event on the final night of competition for senior men at the Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships. gymnasts may now begin the warm-up for rotation 2. The Positive Coaching Alliance annually names 25 national winners of their Double Gold Coach of the Year Award, which recognizes coaches who are making an impact with a focus on the whole athlete and the belief that a positive approach will result in the best outcomes for kids. For the second year in a row, 2 of those 25 coaches are gymnastics coaches. Craig Thibodeau of Impact Gymnastics Academy in Bow, New Hampshire, and Mitch Connor of Infinite Gymnastics in Brown Deer, Wisconsin were among the 25 coaches around the country recognized for their positive coaching styles. Both have made a significant impact on boys gymnastics for decades, thanks to their work with USA Gymnastics clubs and athletes. Please join USA Gymnastics President and CEO Lili Leon in congratulating and thanking Craig and Mitch for all they do for the sport of gymnastics.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I've got some great fans here in the stands. They're going to help me play a game that we're going to call the 5-second game. I'm going to name a category, and they've got 5 seconds to name 4 items specific to that category. You ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right, the first category are states. You got 5 seconds to name 4.
California, Oklahoma, Minnesota, Idaho.
You did it. Nice. All right. Next contestant. Your category is cereals. You got 5 seconds. Go.
Kellogg's, Apple Jacks, Lucky Charms, Pixie Jacks.
Nice. All right. All right. Keep this going. All right. You ready for your category? You got 5 seconds. Colors.
Red, orange, yellow, green.
Man, you guys are good. All right. You ready? Here comes yours. I want you to try to name as many as you can in 5 seconds.
As many what?
Fruits.
Okay. Apples, bananas, oranges, blueberries, strawberries. All right.
All right, all right. All right. Last but certainly not least. Are you ready? All right, your category is things you take to school.
Book, Chromebook, pencil, pen.
Seems like school might not be that important to you, huh? I'm just messing with you. Give it up for these guys. We got one more contestant right here. Come here, buddy.
What's up, man?
All right, hey, I want you to name as many things as you can that you would find in the kitchen. Go.
A knife, fork, spoon, a bowl,
Great job, buddy. All right, all right. We're going to get back to the gymnastics action. Hope you guys are having a great time here tonight.
After 6 rotations of competition on Thursday and 1 tonight, here are your top 5 in the all-around of the men's championships for the Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships. In 5th place for Stanford is Coy Young. In 4th place for Michigan, Paul Judah. 3rd place, Stanford's Asher Hong. In 2nd place for University of Michigan, Frederick Richard. And leading away with a 99.762 in the all-around for 5280 gymnastics, Yul Moldauer. They are your leaders in the 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships. This concludes the warm-up, and competition resumes with the start of rotation 2. Starting off on pommel horse for Oklahoma, Fuzzy Bennis. On rings for Evo, Alex Carajo. On vault for Illinois, Evan Manavon. On parallel bars for Michigan, Landon Blixt. On high bar for Penn State, Michael Giroux. And now on floor for Stanford, Riley Luce. Evan Manavong of Illinois. Coming up next on vault for 5280 will be Yul Moldauer. Fuzzy Bennis of Oklahoma on pommel horse. Up next on pommels for UC Berkeley will be Tyler Shimizu. Michael Giroux of Penn State on high bar. Alex Carajo of Evo on rings. Up next on rings for Navy will be Isaiah Drake. Landon Blixt of Michigan on parallel bars. Up next on P-bars for Cypress Academy will be Dallas Hill. Coming up next on high bar for Salto will be Donnell Wittenberg. Shane Wiskus. Riley Luce of Stanford on floor. Now on high bar for Salto, Donnell Wittenberg. Now on vault for 5280, Yul Moldauer. Coming up next on floor for Stanford will be Asher Hong. Yul Moldauer of 5280 on vault. Coming up next on vault for Stanford, Ian Gunther. Isaiah Drake of Navy on rings. Up next on rings for Evo will be Shane Wiskus. Danelle Wittenberg of Salto on high bar. Dallas Hale of Cypress Academy on parallel bars. Now on floor for Stanford, Asher Hahn. Coming up next on pommel horse for Nebraska, Taylor Christopoulos. Ian Gunther of Stanford on vault. Coming up next on vault for Illinois will be Connor McCool. Coming up next on parallel bars for Michigan will be Paul Judah. Up next on high bar for Penn State will be Michael Artlip. Now on parallel bars for Michigan, Paul Judah. Connor McCool of Illinois on vault. Asher Hong of Stanford on floor. Coming up next on floor for Stanford, Jeremy Bishop. Up next on vault for Illinois will be Mike Fletcher. Now on rings for Evo, Ian Sandoval. Paul Judah of Michigan on parallel bars. Coming up next on P-bars for Michigan will be Crew Bowl. Michael Artlip of Penn State on high bar. Mike Fletcher of Illinois on vault. Coming up next on floor for Stanford will be Jeremy Bishop. Up next on pommel horse for Oklahoma, Maxime Berezhnev. Coming up next on vault for Stanford, Brandon Gwynn. Coming up next on high bar for Air Force will be Oliver Zabel. Shane Wiskus of Evo on rings. Coming up next on rings for Evo will be Ian Sandoval. Brandon Gwynn of Stanford on vault. Maxime Berezhnev of Oklahoma on pommel horse. Jeremy Bishop of Stanford on floor. Up next on floor for Stanford will be Colt Walker. Up next on pommel horse for Ohio State will be Cameron Nelson. Oliver Zabel of Air Force on high bar. Crew Bold of Michigan on parallel bars. Coming up next on high bar for Penn State, Landon Simpson. Coming up next on parallel bars for Cypress Academy, Caden Clinton. Cameron Nelson of Ohio State. Coming up next on pommel horse. That was Ian Sandoval of Evo on rings. Now on floor for Stanford, Colt Walker. Now on parallel bars for Cypress Academy, Caden Clinton. Cameron Nelson of Ohio State on pommel horse. Coming up next on pommel horse for Oklahoma will be Zachary Nunez. Landon Simpson of Penn State on high bar. Caden Clinton of Cypress Academy on parallel bars. Colt Walker of Stanford on floor. Coming up next on floor for Stanford will be Taylor Burkhardt. Coming up on Coming up next on parallel bars for Michigan will be Frederick Richard. Vahe Petrosian of Gymnastics Olympica USA on rings. Coming up next on rings for Evo will be Alex Diaz. Now on parallel bars for Michigan, Frederick Richard. Now on floor for Stanford, Taylor Burkhardt. Zachary Nunez of Oklahoma on pommel horse. Coming up next on pommels for Ohio State will be Chase Davenport Mills. Frederick Richard of Michigan on parallel bars. Now on rings for Evo, Alex Tiab. Coming up next on parallel bars for Michigan will be Javier Alfonso. Taylor Burkhardt of Stanford on floor. Coming up next on floor for Stanford will be Coy Young. Alex Diab of Evo on rings. Coming up next on rings for Nova will be Alex Tepanis. Now on parallel bars for Michigan, Javier Alfonso. Javier Alfonso of Michigan on parallel bars. Now on floor for Stanford, Coy Young. Now on rings for Nova, Alex Tepanis. Coming up next on parallel bars for Michigan will be Cameron Bach. Alex Tepanis of Nova on rings. Coy Young of Stanford on floor. Thanks. Now on parallel bars for Michigan, Cameron Bach. Cameron Bach of Michigan on parallel bars. For rotation 2, gymnasts may now advance to their third event in the 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships. Gymnasts may now begin the warm-up for rotation 3. Over the past 4 years, the USA Gymnastics men's national team has had the opportunity to visit and train with top gymnasts from Japan. The city of Funabashi has welcomed the senior and junior men's national teams with open arms and was the preparation site for our 2020 Olympic team. The city has now shown USA Gymnastic athletes and coaches tremendous hospitality. To show our appreciation, we welcome several representatives from the city of Funabashi to be here as our special guests. USA Gymnastics would like to recognize the mayor of Funabashi, Mr. Toru Matsudo, and the city's assembly chairwoman, Mr. Kenji Watanabe. We would also like to show our appreciation to the USA men's national team training camp coordinator, Mr. Naoki Wada. Honoring our special guests on behalf of USA Gymnastics is President and CEO Lili Leon. USA Gymnastics says great thanks for your support of the U.S. men's national and Olympic teams, and thank you to the city of Funabashi for being such gracious hosts.
What's up, fans? Get loud, get on your feet, and let me see those dance moves. Hey.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get on your feet. I've got this crowd of kids right here. They're ready to show you what they're working with. Everybody get up and dance. Keep it going. Sprinkler. Hey, hey, hey. Hey! Tootsie roll, tootsie roll. Go Coy, go Coy. Keep it going. Dos, tres, cuatro. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get back to the gymnastics action out on the floor.
Time to take a look at who's leading the charge here at the Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships, heading into rotation 3 on night number 2. Currently in 5th place in the all-around competition is Stanford's Coy Young. In 4th place for Cypress Academy, Dallas Hale. In 3rd place for Stanford, Asher Hong. In 2nd place for Michigan, Frederick Richard. And leading the way for 50-80 gymnastics with an all-around score of 114.112, Yul Moldauer. They are your leaders heading into rotation 3 on the final night of the Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships for senior men. This concludes the warm-up, and competition resumes with the start of rotation 3. Starting off on floor for Salto Center, Danelle Wittenberg. Starting off on pommel horse for Stanford, Asher Hong. Starting off on rings for Nebraska, Taylor Christopoulos. Starting off on vault for Evo, Curran Phillips. Starting off on parallel bars for 52-80, Yul Moldauer. And starting off on high bar for Cypress Academy, Dallas Hale. Curran Phillips of Evo on vault. Up next on vault for Navy will be Isaiah Drake. Asher Hong of Stanford on pommel horse. Coming up next on pommels for Stanford, Jeremy Bishop. Danelle Wittenberg of Salto on floor. Taylor Christopoulos of Nebraska on rings. Dallas Hale of Cypress Academy on high bar. Yul Moldauer of 5280 on parallel bars. Isaiah Drake of Navy on vault. Coming up next on floor for Penn State will be Michael Arklip. Coming up next on rings for Oklahoma will be Maxime Berezhnev. Coming up next on vault for Evo will be Shane Wiskus. Coming up next on parallel bars for Stanford will be Ian Gunther. And coming up next on high bar for Michigan will be Paul Judah. Now on vault for Evo, Shane Wiskus. Jeremy Bishop of Stanford on pommel horse. Shane Wiskus of Evo on vault. Coming up next on pommels for Stanford will be Colt Walker. Now on high bar for University of Michigan, Paul Judah. Now on parallel bars for Stanford, Ian Gunther. Coming up next on vault for Evo will be Ian Sandoval. Colt Walker. Maxime Berezhnev of Oklahoma on rings. Ian Sandoval of Evo on vault. Coming up next on vault for Gymnastics Olympica will be Vahe Petrosian. Ethan Gunther of Stanford on parallel bars. Paul Judah of Michigan on high bar. Colt Walker of Stanford on pommel horse. Coming up next on pommels for Stanford will be Taylor Burkhardt. Coming up next on rings for Ohio State, Cameron Nelson. Coming up next on parallel bars for Illinois, Mike Fletcher. And coming up next on high bar for Michigan will be Crew Bold. Michael Arklip. Up next on floor for Air Force will be Oliver Zabel. Vahe Petrosian of Gymnastics Olympica USA on vault. Coming up next on vault for Nova will be Alex Tapenis. Cameron Nelson of Ohio State on rings. Coming up next on rings for Ohio State, Chase Davenport Mills. Mike Fletcher of Illinois on parallel bars. Up next on P-bars for Stanford will be Brandon Wynn. Taylor Burkhardt of Stanford on pommel horse. Crew Bold of Michigan on high bar. Up next on pommel horse for Stanford will be Blake Soon. Coming up next on high bar for Cypress Academy will be Caden Clinton. Alex Carajo of Evo on vault. Now on high bar for Cypress Academy, Caden Clinton. Chase Davenport Mills of Ohio State on ring. Coming up next on rings for Oklahoma will be Fuzzy Bennis. Now on pommel horse for Stanford, Blake Soon. Brandon Wynn of Stanford on parallel bars. Coming up next on P-bars for Stanford will be J.R. Cho. Blake Soon of Stanford on pommel horse. Caden Clinton of Cypress Academy on high bar. Coming up next on pommel horse for Stanford will be Coy Young. Oliver Zabel of Air Force on floor. Coming up next on floor for Penn State will be Landon Simpson. Now on rings for Oklahoma, Fuzzy Bennis. Now on high bar for Michigan, Frederick Richard. Fuzzy Bennis of Oklahoma on rings. Now on pommel horse for Stanford, Coy Young. J.R. Cho of Stanford on parallel bars. Frederick Richard of Michigan on high bar. Coming up next on high bar for Michigan will be Cameron Bach. Coy Young of Stanford on pommel horse. Coming up next on pommels for Stanford will be Riley Luce. Michael Giroux of Penn State on floor. Now on high bar for Michigan, Cameron Bach. Now on pommel horse for Stanford, Riley Luce. Cameron Bach of Michigan on high bar. Coming up next on high bar for Michigan will be Landon Blixt. Riley Luce of Stanford on pommel horse. Now on high bar for Michigan, Landon Blixt. Landon Blixt of Michigan on high bar. This concludes competition in the third rotation. Gymnasts may now advance to their fourth event of the final night of the Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships for senior men.
Everybody on your feet during this next rotation. Check out those lights in the crowds.
Gymnasts may now begin the warm-up for rotation 4.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the next game that we're going to play today is a minute to win it. We're going to have a mummy race with these two teams right here. We're going to see which team of these four guys right here can wrap their teammate in a minute the quickest. Are you guys ready? Here we go. We got a minute up on the clock. On 3, 2, 1, go. Cheer them on, fans. Who's going to be the best mummy? Keep it going. You still got 40 seconds. Keep it going. 29 seconds. Keep it going. Keep it going. 15 seconds. Here we go. 5 seconds. Who's going to do it? There it is. All right, stop. Do we have the team in red as the winner or the team in blue and black? What do you guys think? It looks like the team in blue and black are your winners.
Good job, brother. Thank you for helping us out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get back to the action here in just a few short moments. Hope you guys are enjoying the competition today.
We are halfway through the final night for senior men at the 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships. Here are the all-around standings for the top 5. Currently in 5th place for Michigan, Paul Judah. In 4th place for Stanford, Asher Hahn. In 3rd place for Stanford, Coy Young. In 2nd place for Michigan is Frederick Richard. And leading the way with an all-around score of 129.667 for 50-80 gymnastics, Yul Moldauer. They are your leaders heading around the halfway point here at the Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships for senior men. This concludes the warm-up, and competition resumes with the start of rotation 4. Starting off on pommel horse for Penn State, Michael Artliff. Starting off on rings for Stanford, Jeremy Bischoff. Starting off on vault for Oklahoma, Maxime Berezhnev. Starting off on parallel bars for Navy, Isaiah Drake. Starting off on high bar for Stanford, Ian Gunther. Maxime Berezhnev of Oklahoma on vault. Now on floor exercise for Michigan, Paul Judah. Michael Artliff of Penn State on pommel horse. Up next on pommels for Air Force will be Oliver Zavell. Coming up next on vault for Ohio State will be Cameron Nelson. Isaiah Drake of Navy on parallel bars. Jeremy Bischoff of Stanford on rings. Ian Gunther of Stanford on high bar. Up next on rings for Stanford will be Colt Walker. Coming up next on parallel bars for Evo, Shane Wiskus. And coming up next on high bar for Illinois, Mike Fletcher. Cameron Nelson of Ohio State on vault. Coming up next on vault for Arizona State, Jackson Harrison. Paul Judah of Michigan on floor. Up next on floor for Michigan, Crew Bowl. Now on parallel bars for Evo, Shane Wiskus. Coming up next on vault, the second vault for Ohio State's Cameron Nelson. Oliver Zavell of Air Force on pommel horse. Now on rings for Stanford, Colt Walker. Mike Fletcher of Illinois on high bar. Up next on high bar for Stanford will be Brandon Gwynn. Coming up on pommel horse for Penn State, Landon Simpson. Cameron Nelson of Ohio State on vault. Shane Wiskus of Evo on parallel bars. Coming up next on vault for Arizona State, Jackson Harrison. Coming up next on parallel bars for Evo, Ian Sandoval. Colt Walker of Stanford on rings. Up next on rings for Stanford will be Taylor Burkhart. Now on high bar for Stanford, Brandon Gwynn. Now on parallel bars for Evo, Ian Sandoval. Jackson Harrison of Arizona State on vault. Coming up next on vault for Oklahoma, Zachary Nunez. Now on rings for Stanford, Taylor Burkhart. Now on floor for Cypress Academy, Kaden Clinton. Ian Sandoval of Evo on parallel bars. Up next on P-bars for Gymnastics Olympica will be Vahe Petrosian. Brandon Gwynn of Stanford on high bar. Up next on high bar for Stanford, J.R. Cho. Landon Simpson of Penn State on pommel horse. Zachary Nunez of Oklahoma on vault. Taylor Burkhart of Stanford on rings. Coming up next on rings for Stanford, Brandon Briones. Coming up next on pommel horse for Penn State, Matt Cormier. Up next on vault for Ohio State will be Chase Davenport Mills. Now on floor for University of Michigan, Frederick Richard. Now on high bar for Stanford, J.R. Cho. Now on rings for Stanford, Brandon Briones. Chase Davenport Mills of Ohio State on vault. Coming up next on vault for Nebraska, Taylor Christopoulos. J.R. Cho of Stanford on high bar. Vahe Petrosian of Gymnastics Olympica on parallel bars. Matt Cormier of Penn State on pommel horse. Now on floor for Michigan, Frederick Richard. Brandon Briones of Stanford on rings. Coming up next on pommel horse for Air Force, Patrick Hoops. Coming up next on rings for Stanford, Coy Young. Up next on parallel bars for Nova, Alex Tapanis. And coming up next on high bar for Illinois, Evan Manavar. Taylor Christopoulos of Nebraska on vault. Now on high bar for Illinois, Evan Manavong. Frederick Richard of Michigan on floor. Now on rings for Stanford, Coy Young. Alex Stepanis of Nova on parallel bars. Up next on P-bars for Evo will be Alex Caraggio. Evan Manavong of Illinois on high bar. Coming up next on high bar for 5280 will be Yul Moldauer. Coming up next on floor for Michigan will be Javier Alfonso. Coy Young of Stanford on rings. Patrick Hoops of Air Force on pommel horse. Now on high bar for 5280, Yul Moldauer. Coming up on pommel horse for Penn State will be Michael Giroux. Up next on rings for Stanford will be Riley Luce. Now on high bar for 5280, Yul Moldauer. Javier Alfonso of Michigan on floor. Coming up next on floor for Michigan, Cameron Bach. Alex Caraggio of Evo on parallel bars. Coming up next on P-bars for Evo, Curran Phillips. Yul Moldauer of 5280 on high bar. Michael Giroux of Penn State on pommel horse. Now on floor for Michigan, Cameron Bach. Now on parallel bars for Evo, Curran Phillips. Riley Luce of Stanford on rings. Coming up next on rings for Stanford will be Asher Hong. Now on parallel bars for Evo, Curran Phillips. Now on pommel horse for Salto Center, Donnell Wittenberg. Donnell Wittenberg of Salto on pommel horse. Cameron Bach of Michigan on floor. Curran Phillips of Evo on parallel bars. Coming up next on floor for Michigan will be Landon Blixt. Now on rings for Stanford, Asher Hong. Now on floor for Michigan, Landon Blixt. Asher Hong of Stanford on rings. Landon Blixt of Michigan on floor. Coming up next on floor for Cypress Academy will be Dallas Hale. Now on floor for Cypress Academy, Dallas Hale. Dallas Hale of Cypress Academy on floor. This concludes competition in the fourth rotation. Gymnasts may now advance to their fifth event in the 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships.
Come on, fans, get on your feet.
Gymnasts may now begin their warm-up for rotation 5.
You gotta fly high, and then you gotta stick the landing.
Wow. I mean, air awareness and a cat-like ability to find the landing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into our next game that we're going to play. We're going to play a game of charades. I'm told that the category is animals. You're going to see a word up there on the screen, and I need you guys over here to help me out, see if I can guess what's up there. You guys ready? All right, put the first word up. You guys act out what's up there, and I'm going to guess it. A bunny rabbit. A squirrel. Oh, a cow? Yes. All right, next word. A monkey. Yes. All right. What's next? A tiger. A lion. All right, what's next? What you got? An elephant. That's easy. What's next? I don't know what that. I like this guy. I didn't keep doing it. Is it a horse? Oh, okay. What's next? Armadillo? She got it right here. All right, what's next? A cheetah. All right, what's next? An emu? You can't say the word. I'm supposed to guess it. What's next? Is it something with a deer? It's got antlers? A porcupine. Oh, gosh. Oh, a hedgehog. Yes. All right, wait. Is there another one? A dog. No, that wasn't it. Oh, a penguin. Yeah. What's next? A giraffe. Is there another one? Is this a rabbit now? A kangaroo. Is there more? A koala bear? Oh, yes. Oh, man, I'm not getting. Oh, a frog. A tree frog? How are you supposed to say a tree? This one, what we got? Is it a dolphin? What else? An octopus. All right. A stingray? No, a butterfly. God, you guys are good. What's next? A snake. Thank you for the sound. What else we got? A shark. Like a baby shark. Oh, a bear. Yeah. What else? Last one. A wolf. An owl. I love this game. All right, you guys, thank you so much for your help. We're going to get started back to the action in just a few short moments. Hope you guys are having a great time.
With 2 rotations left in the Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships for senior men, here are your top 5. In 5th place for Stanford, Coy Young. 4th place for Michigan, Paul Judah. 3rd place for 5280, Yul Moldauer. 2nd place for Stanford, Asher Hong. And your new leader with an all-around of 142.982 score, University of Michigan's Frederick Richard. They lead the way into rotation 5. This concludes the warm-up, and competition resumes with the start of rotation 5. Starting off on floor for Illinois, Connor McCool. Starting off on pommel horse for Cypress Academy, Caden Clinton. Starting off on rings for Air Force, Oliver Zavell. Starting off on vault for Stanford, Colt Walker. Starting off on parallel bars for Ohio State, Cameron Nelson. And now on high bar for Evo, Shane Wiskus. Colt Walker of Stanford on vault. Coming up next on vault for Penn State will be Landon Simpson. Caden Clinton of Cypress Academy on pommel horse. Up next on pommels for Michigan will be Frederick Richard. Oliver Zavell of Air Force on rings. Up next on rings for Penn State will be Landon Simpson. Up next on vault for Stanford will be Taylor Burkhart. Connor McCool of Illinois on floor. Cameron Nelson of Ohio State on parallel bars. Shane Wiskus of Evo on high bar. Coming up next on floor for Illinois, Mike Fletcher. Up next on parallel bars for Oklahoma, Zachary Nunez. And up next on high bar for Evo will be Ian Sandoval. Taylor Burkhart of Stanford on vault. Coming up next on vault for Stanford will be Coy Young. Now on pommel horse for University of Michigan, Frederick Richard. Now on vault for Stanford, Coy Young. Now on high bar for Evo, Ian Sandoval. Landon Simpson of Penn State on rings. Up next on rings for Penn State will be Michael Giroux. Coy Young of Stanford on vault. Up next on vault for Stanford will be Riley Luce. Mike Fletcher of Illinois on floor. Coming up next on floor for Illinois will be Evan Manavar. Ian Sandoval of Evo on high bar, and Zachary Nunez of Oklahoma on parallel bars. Now on vault for Stanford, Riley Luce. Frederick Richard of Michigan on pommel horse. Coming up on pommels for Michigan, Cameron Buck. Up next on parallel bars for Ohio State, Chase Davenport Mills. Coming up on high bar for Gymnastics Olympica USA, Vahe Petrosian. Riley Luce of Stanford on vault. Coming up next on vault for Stanford, Asher Hong. Michael Giroux of Penn State on rings. Coming up next on rings for Salto will be Donnell Wittenberg. Now on floor for Illinois, Evan Manavar. Now on vault for Stanford, Asher Hahn. Asher Hahn of Stanford on vault. Cameron Bach of Michigan on pommel horse. Now on high bar, Gymnastics Olympica's Vahe Petrosian. Now on rings, for Salto, Donnell Wittenberg. Chase Davenport Mills of Ohio State on parallel bars. Coming up on pommel horse for Michigan will be Landon Blix. Up next on vault for Stanford will be Jeremy Bishop. Evan Manavong of Illinois on floor. Coming up next on parallel bars for Oklahoma, Fuzzy Bennett. Up next on high bar for Nova will be Alex Tapanis. Jeremy Bishop of Stanford on vault. Alex Tapanis of Nova on high bar. Donnell Wittenberg of Salto on rings. Now on floor for 5280, Yul Moldauer. Landon Blix of Michigan on pommel horse. Coming up next on pommel horse for Cypress Academy will be Dallas Hill. Coming up next on rings for Penn State will be Michael Artlip. And up next on high bar for Evo will be Alex Carajo. Fuzzy Bennett of Oklahoma on parallel bars. Up next on parallel bars for UC Berkeley will be Tyler Shimizu. Now on high bar for Evo, Alex Carajo. Yul Moldauer of 5280 on floor. Now on high bar for Nova, Alex Tapanis. Michael Artlip of Penn State on rings. Coming up next on floor for Stanford will be Ian Gunther. Now on parallel bars for UC Berkeley, Tyler Shimizu. Tyler Shimizu of UC Berkeley on parallel bars. Now on floor for Stanford, Ian Gunther. Alex Stepanis of Nova on high bar. Now on pommel horse. Dallas Hale of Cypress Academy on pommel horse. Coming up next on pommel horse for Michigan, Paul Judah. Up next on parallel bars for Nebraska will be Taylor Christopoulos. Up next on high bar for Evo, Alex Carajo. Ian Gunther of Stanford on floor. Now on pommel horse for Michigan, Paul Judah. Taylor Christopoulos of Nebraska on parallel bars. Coming up next on parallel bars for Oklahoma will be Maxime Berezhnev. Now on high bar for Evo, Alex Carajo. Alex Carajo of Evo on high bar. Paul Judah of Michigan on pommel horse. Coming up next on high bar for Evo will be Curran Phillips. Maxime Berezhnev of Oklahoma on parallel bars. Now on high bar for Evo, Curran Phillips. Curran Phillips of Evo on high bar. Coming up next on high bar for Navy, Isaiah Drake. Now on high bar for Navy, Isaiah Drake. Isaiah Drake of Navy on high bar. This concludes competition in the fifth rotation. Gymnasts may now advance to their sixth and final event of the 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships.
All right, fans, get on your feet as these athletes move to their next station. Let them hear it loud and proud. Cheer on your favorite gymnast as they make their way to their next spot.
Gymnasts may now begin to warm up for rotation 6.
All right, everybody stand up. You guys think y'all got bigger muscles than us?
Let's see, flex as hard as you can.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a group of flexors right here with us. Show us your muscles. Everybody on your feet. Flex on them, Darnell. Yeah. Let me see those muscles. Yes, sir. Keep flexing.
You want to flex?
Strong. She's coming to the gun show. Yes, sir.
These guys right here in the suite, those three sitting right there, put them on here.
Flex on them. Yes, sir. All right. Who's got the biggest muscles in the house? Hey, yo, can you point me to the weight room? Keep them flexing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We're going to get back to the action on the floor.
Hard to believe that there's only one rotation remaining for senior men at the 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships. Let's take a look at who might be in the running for a U.S. All-Around Championship presented by Xfinity. Currently in 5th place for 5280, Yul Moldauer. In 4th place for Stanford, Colt Walker. In 3rd place for Stanford, Coy Young. In 2nd place for Michigan, Frederick Richard. And the new leader with an all-around score of 156.03 is Stanford's Asher Hogg. They are your leaders heading into rotation 6 of the Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships. This concludes the warm-up, and competition resumes with the start of rotation 6. Starting off on floor for Evo, Ian Sandoval. Starting off on pommel horse for Illinois, Mike Fletcher. Starting off on rings for Michigan, Frederick Richard. Starting off on vault for Penn State, Landon Simpson. Starting off on parallel bars for Stanford, Taylor Burkhart. And now on high bar for Arizona State, Jackson Harrison. Landon Simpson of Penn State on vault. Up next on vault for Penn State will be Michael Giroux. Mike Fletcher of Illinois on pommel horse. Coming up next on pommels for Stanford, Brandon Gwynn. Frederick Richard of Michigan on rings. Jackson Harrison of Arizona State on high bar. Taylor Burkhart of Stanford on parallel bars. Up next, Ian Sandoval of Evo on floor. Up next on floor for Gymnastics Olympica will be Vahe Petrosian. Michael Giroux of Penn State on vault. Coming up next on rings for Michigan, Javier Alfonso. Up next on vault for Salto will be Donnell Wittenberg. Brandon Gwynn of Stanford on pommel horse. Up next on parallel bars for Stanford will be Blake Soon. And coming up on high bar for Ohio State, Chase Davenport Mills. Coming up next on pommel horse for Stanford, J.R. Chow. Now on vault for Salto, Donnell Wittenberg. Chanel Wittenberg of Salto on vault. Coming up next on vault for Penn State, Michael Artlip. Now on floor for Gymnastics Olympica, Vahe Petrosian. Javier Alfonso of Michigan on rings. Coming up next on rings for Michigan, Cameron Bach. Chase Davenport Mills of Ohio State on high bar. Coming up next on high bar for Oklahoma, Fuzzy Venice. Now on parallel bars for Stanford, Blake Soon. J.R. Chow of Stanford on pommel horse. Michael Artlip of Penn State on vault. Now on rings for Michigan, Cameron Bach. Vahe Petrosian of Gymnastics Olympica on floor. Coming up next on floor for Evo will be Alex Carajo. Blake Soon of Stanford on parallel bars. Coming up next on pommel horse for Illinois, Evan Manavon. Coming up next on vault for Air Force will be Oliver Zabel. Coming up next on parallel bars for Stanford will be Coy Young. Oliver Zabel of Air Force on vault. Cameron Bach of Michigan on rings. Coming up next on rings for Michigan, Landon Blixt. Now on floor for Evo, Alex Carajo. Evan Manavong of Illinois on pommel horse. Fuzzy Venice of Oklahoma on high bar. Now on parallel bars for Stanford, Coy Young. Now on rings for Michigan, Landon Blixt. Coming up next on pommel horse for 5280 will be Yul Moldauer. Coming up next on high bar for Nebraska, Taylor Christopoulos. Landon Blixt of Michigan on rings. Coy Young of Stanford on parallel bars. Now on high bar for Nebraska, Taylor Christopoulos. Alex Caraggio of Evo on floor. Up next on floor for Navy will be Isaiah Drake. Coming up next on rings for Cypress Academy will be Dallas Hill. Coming up next on parallel bars for Stanford will be Riley Luce. Now on parallel bars for Stanford, Riley Luce. Now on pommel horse for 5280, Yul Moldauer. Dallas Hill of Cypress Academy on rings. Up next on rings for Michigan will be Paul Judah. Taylor Christopoulos of Nebraska on high bar. Up next on high bar for Oklahoma will be Maxime Berezhnev. Isaiah Drake of Navy on floor. Coming up next on floor for Evo will be Shane Wiskus. Yul Moldauer of 5280 on pommel horse. Riley Luce of Stanford on parallel bars. Coming up next on pommel horse for Stanford will be Ian Gunther. Up next on parallel bars for Stanford, Asher Hong. Now on rings for University of Michigan, Paul Judah. Now on floor for Evo, Shane Wiskus. Now on parallel bars for Stanford, Asher Hong. Ian Gunther of Stanford on pommel horse. Paul Judah of Michigan on rings. Asher Hogg of Stanford on parallel bars. Shane Wiskus of Evo on floor. Maxime Berezhnev of Oklahoma on high bar. Coming up next on rings for Michigan will be Crew Bowl. Up next on parallel bars for Stanford, Jeremy Bischoff. And coming up next on high bar for Ohio State will be Cameron Nelson. Now on parallel bars for Stanford, Jeremy Bischoff. Rubold of Michigan on rings. Cameron Nelson of Ohio State on high bar. Jeremy Bischoff of Stanford on parallel bars. Coming up next on rings for Cypress Academy will be Caden Clinton. Coming up next on parallel bars for Stanford will be Colt Walker. Caden Clinton of Cypress Academy on rings. Now on parallel bars for Stanford, Colt Walker. Colt Walker of Stanford on parallel bars. Competition for the 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships. Please join us in recognizing all of these talented athletes. We are now just minutes away from the presentation of awards. Consider this your personal invitation to join us for the medal ceremony, honoring the top athletes of the 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships and the first ever introduction of your 2023 Team USA for senior men. Great thanks to our judges for all of their hard work and dedication. While we prepare for the medal ceremony, please plan to join us tomorrow at 3:10 p.m. to celebrate the 15-year reunion of the 2008 USA Olympic teams. The men's and women's teams will be here, and we would love to have fans packing the stands to cheer for this amazing team.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about into our last game of the evening. As you can see, we've got some guys out here on the floor tonight. We are going to do a handstand contest and see which one of these gymnasts out here on the floor can have a handstand for the longest. Are you guys ready? On the count of 3, here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Hold it as long as you can. Great job. Keep it going. Keep it going. All right, stop walking. Keep it going. We got 2 more. Oh! Right over there! Winner! Winner! Give it up for our longest handstand of the night! Come here, buddy. What's your name?
Maddie.
Maddie is our handstand winner! Hey, Maddie, I got a couple questions for you. Where are you from?
Wachovia.
That sounds fun. Do you do gymnastics also?
Yes.
What's your favorite thing about gymnastics?
Everything.
Well, fair enough. Everything it is. Me too. Good job, Maddie. Proud of you, buddy. Give it up for all of our handstand contestants tonight.
cat-like ability to find the landing.
Hey fans, USA Gymnastics has a new mascot, but we need your help to name it. Scan the QR code on the screen to suggest your best ideas. The mascot's name will be unveiled here tomorrow night at the SAP Center. At this time, we'd like to take a moment for some very special presentations. This evening, we recognize 3 of the shining lights of the past year in the men's program of USA Gymnastics. Tonight, we honor the 2023 Men's Coach, Men's Athlete, and Men's Sports Person of the Year. Presenting the awards on behalf of USA Gymnastics from the 2008 Men's Olympic Team, Kevin Tan, Joe Haggerty, and Jonathan Horton. Your 2023 Sports Person of the Year, Yul Moldauer of 5280 Gymnastics. Your 2023 Athlete of the Year for University of Michigan, Frederick Richard. Your Senior Coach of the Year for 2023 for Stanford University, Tom Guilherme. Congratulations once again to your Sports Person of the Year, Yul Moldauer, Athlete of the Year, Frederick Richard, and Senior Coach of the Year, Tom Guglielmi. At this time, we present the Individual Event Awards for the Senior Men's Competition of the 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships. We begin this ceremony with the presentation of awards on floor exercise. Finishing in 6th place with a score of 28.416 for University of Illinois, Connor McCool. In 5th place with a score of 28.65 for Stanford University, Coy Young. In 4th place with a score of 28.85 for Evo, Shane Wiskus. In 3rd place and earning the bronze medal with a score of 28.959 for Salto Gymnastics, Danelle Wittenberg. In 2nd place and earning the silver medal with a score of 29.048 for Stanford University, Taylor Burkhardt. The 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships Floor Exercise Champion, winning the gold medal with a top score of 29.30 for University of Michigan, Paul Judah. There they are, your 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships Floor Exercise medalists. We continue the award ceremony with the presentation of medals for pommel horse. Finishing in 6th place with a score of 27.45 for Stanford, Colt Walker. In 5th place with a score of 27.745 for Stanford, J.R. Cho. In 4th place with a score of 48.094 for Air Force, Patrick Hoops. In 3rd place, winning the bronze medal with a score of 28.158 for 5280 Gymnastics, Yul Moldauer. In 2nd place and earning the silver medal with a score of 28.601 for Stanford University, Coy Young. The 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships Pommel Horse Champion, winning the gold medal with a top score of 31.301 for Evo Gymnastics, Stephen Netarasic. There they are, your 2023 Xfinity award ceremony for still rings. Finishing in sixth place with a score of 28.3 for Stanford University, Colt Walker. In fifth place with a score of 28.45 for Stanford University, Brandon Briones. In fourth place with a score of 28.628 for 5280 Gymnastics, Yul Moldauer. In third place, earning the bronze medal with a score of 28.966 for Evo Gymnastics, Alex D. In second place, earning the silver medal with a score of 30.098 for Stanford University, Asher Hahn. The 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championship still rings champion, earning the gold medal with a top score of 30.272 for Salto Gymnastics Center, Donnell Wittenberg. Here they are, your 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championship still rings medalists. And now, please welcome our recipient of the Vault Awards. Earning gold medal status, the champion of vault at the U.S. Gymnastics Championships presented by Xfinity. The only one to complete two vaults and finishing with a top score of 28.325. Your champion for Ohio State, Cameron Nelson. Cameron Nelson, your 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships vault champion. And now, please welcome the Parallel Bars Award winners. Finishing in sixth place with a score of 29.6 for Cypress Academy, Dallas Hill. In fifth place with a score of 29.65 for Stanford University, Asher Hahn. In fourth place with a score of 30.361 for Stanford University, Colt Walker. In third place, earning the bronze medal with a score of 30.488 for Stanford University, Blake Soon. Winning the silver medal in second place with a score of 30.891 for Evo Gymnastics, Corinne Phillips. Your 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships Parallel Bars champion, earning the gold medal with a top score of 31.36 for 5280 Gymnastics, Yul Moldauer. There they are, your 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships Parallel Bars medalists. And now, we welcome our High Bar Award winners to the awards platform. Finishing in 6th place with a score of 27.3 on High Bar for University of Michigan, Paul Judah. In 5th place with a score of 27.3 for University of Michigan, Cameron Bach. In 4th place with a score of 27.494 for Stanford University, Brandon Gwynn. In 3rd place, winning the bronze medal with a score of 27.734 for Stanford University, Brandon Briones. Winning the silver medal in 2nd place with a score of 28.06 for University of Michigan, Drew Bowl. The 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships High Bar champion, winning the gold medal with a top score of 29.802 for University of Michigan, Frederick Richard. There they are, your 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships High Bar medalists. And now presenting the all-around awards for senior men. Presenting the all-around awards for senior men, your 2008 men's Olympic team: Alex Artemed, Raj Bhavsar, Joe Haggerty, Jonathan Horton, Justin Spring, and Kevin Tan. In 6th place with an all-around score of 167.202 for University of Michigan, Paul Judah. In 5th place with an all-around score of 167.446 for 5280 Gymnastics, Yul Moldauer. In 4th place in the all-around with a score of 168.811 for Stanford University, Colt Walker. Finishing in 3rd place with an all-around score of 169.311 Michigan, Frederick Richard. In second place and earning the silver medal with an all-around score of 169.455 for Stanford University, Coy Young. The 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships all-around champion, winning the gold medal with a score of 170.93 for Stanford University, Asher Hong. Gymnastics Championships all-around medalists. just a moment, we'll be introducing to you for the very first time your 2023 men's national teams presented by Xfinity. And now, the 2023 Junior Men's National Team, presented by Xfinity. Danila Lakin, Ty Rodriguez, Justin Park, Kai Uemara, Nathan Roman, Sasha Bogonosiuk, Hassan Edogdu, Adam Lacombe, Sander Hahn, Grant Bowers, Alexander Shibitov, Kiran Mandava, Caden Clinton, and Preston Guy. There they are, your 2023 members of the USA Junior National Team, presented by Xfinity. please join us in welcoming and honoring and recognizing your two members of the 2023 USA Gymnastics Senior Men's Development Team, Joshua Carnes and Landon Blix. Your 2023 USA Gymnastics Senior Development Team. And now, please join us in welcoming your 2023 Men's Senior National Team presented by Xfinity. These national team members will represent the USA this year in national and international competition. Your 2023 Senior Men's National Team members are Asher Hahn, Boy Young, Frederick Richard, Colt Walker, Yul Moldauer, Paul Judah, Vanell Wittenberg, Corinne Phillips, Taylor Burkhart, and Dallas Hale. Let's hear it for your 2023 USA Gymnastics Men's National Team presented by Xfinity.
Simply the best.
let the celebration begin. Congratulations to all the senior men who qualified and competed in this year's Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships and to the medalists. We hope you'll all be joining us for the junior and senior women's final sessions taking place tomorrow right here at the SAP Center. The junior women's competition will start off at tomorrow morning with the doors opening at 9:30 a.m. Then it's the final session for the senior women live on NBC. Doors will open at 2:15 and the festivities begin at 3:15. We thank you for your support of USA Gymnastics and look forward to seeing you at another event soon. Safe travels, everyone.